Hello, I'm illuminated this time. So today we're going to talk about lenses. Not good lenses, cheap lenses. So those of you who have watched some of my videos will know that I have a Canon R7. It's not a cheap camera, but it's by no means an expensive camera, not compared to the R5 or the R3. At least not today, maybe in a couple of years, who knows. It's a great camera, but RF lenses are really expensive, and for someone like me who this is just a hobby, I just do this for fun, our lenses are too expensive. So this video is about different lenses I've purchased for the R7, the ones that have worked and the ones that haven't, and what I've found. So for starters, I am filming on the 1855 kit lens. If you've purchased a mirrorless camera, a mirrored camera in the last forever, you've probably got one. I think I actually have three. So I've got an 1855, that's the latest model. And back here, if I can see it because I am blind, on this well-worn camera, I have the previous gen. It's a lens. It works. It does the job. If it's all you've got, use it. The reason I use the 1855 is specifically because the 100-400 RF lens, which I did a review on previously, I don't have anything wide. I can't use my camera inside. 100mm on the R7 is 160mm full frame equivalent. So what I have actually gone and purchased over the last year is a few lenses. And I'm just going to show you which ones do and don't work, because I wasn't expecting them not to work. Nifty 50. I'm not reviewing it, it's a good lens, it works, but it's just 50, which is about 80 something. Take your choice. 55-250, this is the older version of the 55-250, I have two. This is the one with the mechanical focus and zoom, so it works, it's fine. It's just not perfect. Not purchased specifically because I thought it was a good idea. I actually purchased the Tokina 100mm HEX Pro macro lens. It works. Actually, it works really well. It's a great macro lens since I paid $300 for it secondhand. However, my copy has an issue. It's not specific to my camera. It's done it on every camera I've tried, and it will give me an error 02, I think it is, and the lens just disconnects entirely from the camera. I don't really care. It was a cheap buy. I tried it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out very well. All of these lenses are through the EF RF adapter. Important note. This camera, 200D, wife's camera, it has the STM model of a 55-250. This lens, if you've got no other lens on the R7, works really well. I recommend it. It's what I used for almost 6 months until I eventually had the money to buy the 100-400. So this one, great lens. We have the Tamron SP 1024 3.5 to 4.5. It's an ultra wide. I got this secondhand for about $100. It works really well. This lens is in very good condition, considering that it's had a few years of use from its previous owner. Worked really well with my 800D, works really well with my wife's 200D, even works really well on that 700D, which I don't like because it's got issues. It does not work on the R7. Yes, if you look up the model, you'll find it, but if you just look up the SP10 24mm, there are two versions. One is the B026, I believe. It's the one I don't have. That one does work with the R7 and the adapter. This one, the B001, does not work. You put it on your camera, it's 10-24. The camera thinks it's 50mm, so the in-body stabilization goes completely out of whack. And if you try and take a photo, the entire camera hangs. The solution was to pull the battery. Now, what I did do with this one, you can see it on the back there, I'll just zoom on in. I put tape over the contacts. I know, it's criminal, isn't it? But it did let me use it as a purely analog lens with a fixed aperture. So, take your choice. Since it's got mechanical focusing, that does work. So on manual, it works pretty well actually, and I was going to use it for video. But then I found the lens that I'm very happy to have found. Now, this was definitely an impulse buy. I didn't realize at the time how much I'd love it or that it was such the right lens for me, but it is the EFS 18135. It is the latest version. It's the image stabilizer nano USM model. This is the kit lens that came with the Canon 90D. I did not realize this when I purchased it. I'm just like, hey, it's the latest version of the 18135. I think that's a good lens, let's give it a try. Now, this lens, we're going to ignore the funky features. You can buy an external zoom remote control adapter thing. Everything on the web says that will not work with the R7, so just ignore that completely. However, for its compactness, so it's not actually that light, it zooms in, it's smooth, it's sharp, it's extremely fast autofocus. It is a USM lens at the end of the day. But most importantly, I got this for 400 bucks. This is $1,000 brand new, I got it for 400 second hand. It is designed for the 90D. That is a camera that, by all intents and purposes, has almost the exact same sensor the R7 has. It's 33 megapixels. This is designed to resolve the pixel density the R7 has. And I absolutely love this lens. Sure, it's not an L lens, doesn't matter. I'm not about buying fancy, expensive gear. I'm about buying stuff that does the job for someone who's just a hobbyist. And this lens is fantastic. Now, I'm currently still filming on the 1855. Let me swap it out and we will continue on this one. But first, we're going to compare the zoom for people that want to know. You've got the 1855 on you now. We're going to focus on those plants back there. 18 millimeters, 15 millimeters. Not too bad. But this is purely for fun, but I'm going to swap the lens while filming. Don't recommend doing this, but I'm just being naughty. Now we're on the 18135. This is 18. And that is 135. 15 millimeters is 135. 15 millimeters. Now, maybe just my opinion, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I keep saying that I like this lens. Again, I'm not a professional. I can't tell you to go and buy it, but I feel like the colors are a bit better. So, now we're using the 18135. I really like this lens, as I just showed from that focal range. It's great. You can take it out to the park to take some great photos. You can take it to a party and you're as wide as you can reasonably get. There are wider lenses. I believe the 10 to 18 millimeter by Canon works really well with the R7. I don't have one. I'm probably not going to buy one. But this lens, delicious. I love it. Hopefully Canon releases an RF equivalent of the 18135. For note, it is an EFS lens, so for people that use full frames, not a good option for you, unless you don't mind using it in crop form. So, that's my collection of lenses and the journey I've been on to find a lens that pretty much now lives on my camera, except for when I'm going to go and take photos of birds. So yeah, that's my current story. I highly recommend the EFS 18135 from Canon. That is the Nano USM model. Very important. The other models I found, because I did own one of the older models, isn't as sharp, and as it is not STM either, you have that permanent connection between the focus ring and the focus motor. You might like that, you might not. I prefer the Nano USM. Also, I haven't mentioned this, but the autofocus is dead silent. Have a good day, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all on the next video.